There's one thing we know about defending democracies is that when a country faces an authoritarian threat, all democratic forces must unite against it. That means that democratic forces from the left to the center to the right must set aside their ideological, their personal differences and form a common front in defense of democracy. When Democrats divide, authoritarians win. We have seen this over and over and over again. Building a broad coalition requires sacrifice from all sides. So people who do not like Lula, who do not like the PT, have to work to elect Lula and the PT. But at the same time, Lula and the PT must take clear and credible steps to make the coalition acceptable to their new partners. This cannot be the election of a PT government. This has to be much broader than that. It has to be the election of a democratic government. And the PT has to show the entire democratic community that it knows that. Building a broad coalition is never easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires working with people you disagree with on many issues. It requires working with people you don't like. And most of all, it requires setting aside your short-term personal and political ambitions for the greater good of protecting democracy. When democracy is threatened, we cannot afford to think in normal political terms. We can't think about what's best for us politically or about positioning ourselves for future elections. We have to be willing to put our personal ambitions on hold. When a democracy is at risk, there is simply no excuse for not doing everything possible to defend it. There is no excuse for remaining silent. There's no excuse for saying, no, I'm not taking sides. I'm neutral. I don't like either side. I'm above the conflict. It may be easier to remain silent or to declare yourself neutral, but silence and neutrality have never, ever been the way to defend democracy. You defend democracy by taking sides. You defend democracy by taking sides with the Democrats, whether you like them or not. Over the last 4 decades, Brazilians have built one of the strongest democracies in Latin America. So far, that democracy has managed to survive the election of one of the most authoritarian figures in the hemisphere. But I don't think democracy will survive another 4 years of Bolsonaro. If you look at countries from Venezuela to Nicaragua to Hungary, even to Brazil in the 1930s, when autocrats are not removed early, they can do terrible, terrible damage to democratic institutions. Right now, Brazilians have an opportunity to remove Bolsonaro early, before he does irreparable damage to democracy. I urge you to take advantage of that opportunity. Democrats all over the hemisphere are counting on you.